Okay, now for the administrator commands. We're going to start from the top there, just like we did for the owner commands. So starting off, we've got set autodelete. Set autodelete goes like this. So you type that. You can have any case, like all the commands in this entire program. And you have to say something. If you don't say anything, it'll tell you that there aren't any numbers found. This number can be extremely huge, like 84,000 seconds, which is approximately a full day. Or it can be extremely small. Note that when you do set autodelete, it will automatically, for those two commands, use that for the deletion. So even if you set it afterwards, it won't adjust it. So I can set it to 2 seconds. And that's the smallest number you can make it, due to certain problems. So yeah, the minimum is 2 seconds. If you go 1 second, it's lower than 2 seconds. It's just not possible. But I recommend a autodelete of about 60 seconds for everything. Also, you cannot do decimals. It's not a decimal function here. It's an integer. So 1.5 will register as 15 because of it's the same mechanism as the clear command, which I'll cover later. So I'm just going to set it on 15 for now, but yeah. So this message will take a full day before it deletes, and this one as well. As you can see, it just happened for the other one before this one deleted, because this one's for 60 and the previous was 30. So okay, I've just cleared the chat here and brought back up the commands menu. So first off, we've done that now. So let's move on to QoS. QoS is the main feature added in the spot. It's quite a important feature to version 3. With version 3, with QoS, you have complicated systems. More complicated, multi-layered systems. So QoS stands for Quick Reaction System, which is just a nickname I gave it to essentially make it shorter as a command. So QoS start is the first thing you'll do when you obviously start the QoS system. When you do this, it'll bring up a menu and give you a message here. There we go. Essentially, this is separate from autodelete. Autodelete generally doesn't care about this at all. This is completely separate system. So yeah, we have the raw reaction system, which is what we'll be covering. The event system and time system aren't supported yet, but to give you a brief summary of both, the event system will be events such as when a user joins, they get a private message, for instance, or when someone gets banned, they get or it would send a message to a chat somewhere. So this could be useful for more important functions like moderation and that sort of thing, but it will be somewhat limited because there is a limited amount of stuff you can do with these systems. So you can't, I don't know, set multi-layered event systems, for instance, where you have like one event system triggering the next and so on. But for timed systems, it'll be similar, but more delayed. So you consider delay for a specific action, like you want to send a private message to someone at this time, or at this after this specific duration of time, more rather. So I would set it at 12 hours, and every 12 hours maybe it would send that message if you have the donator perk. Okay, but let's cover role reaction. So to hit the role reaction, just click this, progress to the next part, the stage. So yeah, you can either choose add role or remove role. Add role, as it says, will add a role when you react with your role emoji that you've selected. And whenever you remove that emoji from the message, it will subsequently remove the role on your user. The reason why we've got a remove role function is because it will do the exact same thing, but instead of re-adding the role when you remove your it'll do the inverse of the add role, but whenever you remove the role from the message, it won't re-add the role. So this is kind of more of a permanent thing, and this allows you to remove roles without adding them, and then yeah. So it's just a little bit better, I suppose. And it's more specific, but it can be used in certain situations. Okay, so let's move on. Add role. So to add roles, you have to say curious add. Then it suggests at the role name, for instance, role 1. Okay, it's now saying that for role emoji 0, which is a default, it will apply role 1. I can also remove at role 1. Alright, role remove at 1. There we go. If I say curious add and then the exact role name R1, it'll do the exact same thing. So that's a way if you want to just do it without pinging everyone when you do it. Okay, I'm just gonna add one more role. What is important to note is assuming you need to be higher than the role yourself. You have to have a role, like I've got here, admin, is above all these roles. So if we go to the server settings, roles, this is my command, my role structure. I've got admin, role 1, role 2, role 3, role 4, and so on. And the dev bot is above everything. This is important. Yeah. You don't need administrative permissions, by the way. That's just, these are example permissions that you will need. Nothing in here is, yeah, it's basically just that. You don't have to do anything more. This will be important later down the line once I add the voice. Yeah, okay. So, once we've done that, all you have to do is click this emoji. It will now give you the option to add custom emojis, or you can just not. Now, it's important to note that you have to have a donator role in the PhoenixBot support server to get custom emojis. Because if I do this, it will say I don't have donator features because I don't have the role. Basically, that will come down to here with donate. It will tell you exactly what it says. So, I don't have it, but I'm just going to demonstrate what will happen when you do have it. So, you just need the donator role. You don't need the auto donator role. Donations are $1 for the donator role. Okay. So once you've done that, you just have to redo this. There we go. Now I'll bring up this interface. As it says here, to add an emoji, all you have to do is add it to the thing. Yeah, so let's see. I want to have role 1 as a trident, and I want role 2 to be a robot. Maybe I don't like the trident anymore. I just got to remove it, and then reapply a different one. Instantly replaces it. It's a very fast and simple system, really. Once you've done that, you just have to do this, and here's quite an important thing. So, to set the final message that will be displayed to everyone that has or sees this, you have to say curious set, then the message. The message can literally be anything. For instance, I'll demonstrate using lots of formatting. Um, yeah, that includes everything essentially. Because what it does is it takes everything past this point onwards and basically says that's what my final message. You want to change it. All you have to do is resend it and it'll change it. Any moment, there we go. Yeah. If you want to re-add any, or if you want any roles, it's just you just do that, done. As you can see, alpha here, my helper has demonstrated. It can add any role to anyone, assuming the bot is has the role ability to add it. That is also important. Okay. So when you want to say, let's just say you don't want this anymore, and you want to return back to your basic start. All you have to do is QoS, cancel, or, which is not recommended, you could delete the message yourself. QoS cancel. Give it a moment. There we go. So it's now completely deleted that QoS and it's freed up space. Important thing to also note, you have a limited number of QoSs you can create for per user account. Default is 5 per normal user, 10 for donator, and 25 for an auto donator. So for large servers where you need multiple QoSs, which won't happen with this current version where you only really need one for a server, or maybe two, but where you come to timed QoSs and event system types, it's going to be more involved. Alright, so moving on to, let's do add autorole. So add autorole is the same as set autorole in the previous version. Add autorole. If I just type that, no role found, because I've got to indicate a role. So if I say at autorole role 5, now at role 5 is now an autorole. In other words, whenever someone joins the server, they will receive that role as their initial role. Some servers do this as a important feature to do that. It's not timed yet. Considering doing that event system to be capable of doing that, but it's future plans and it's not solid yet. So anyway, moving on. You can remove the auto role as well. If you remove the auto role, like that, that's fine. As also seen before, you can also add auto role R5. You don't have to give the exact @ sign. Only bot. And no embed. Now to explain all of these, let's start off with what 100 actually means. This 100 value here. This 100 value means it will receive the first 100 messages from this point on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Obviously we don't have many messages right here because of the autodelete function. So what does that mean? When you say 100 no pinned, what it actually means is clear 100 messages, but only retrieve 100 messages, but only clear the ones that aren't pinned. So if you've got a pinned message, it won't clear it. If you've got multiple, it won't clear any of those. When you say no embed, it means it will clear none of the embeds it finds. So it won't clear this, for instance. This is considered an embed. Anything that looks somewhat like this is an embed. As said, it will find the 500 messages and only clear the ones that do not have embeds. So this means if this message contains an embed, then it still won't be deleted. Okay. Only user, as it states, means it will only clear user messages. It will ignore all bot messages. Only bot is the same thing, just means it will only clear bot messages. When you combine multiple, only bots, no embed. So if you wanted to clear only bot messages, as well as not clearing no embeds, so it will filter first for only bot, then it will move on to no embed. And yeah, but once you say only user, it won't care. It will only choose the first one. Yeah. Same, actually, it will only choose the first one. It will always choose this one over that one, actually. Never mind. That's important. And yeah, that's basically done. But clear and clean aren't it. So let me generate 10 numbers here. I want to clear only 2 and 9. So what I do is I just do this. This is changed, where in the previous version it was clear 2-9. I'll demonstrate what that does in a moment. So if I do this, it should only delete 2 to 9, as in message 2 will be deleted and message 9 will be deleted and everything in between. Done. This can be combined with the remove. No. Roll remove R1. This will work at everyone. There we go. Now it's been removed for 3 users. If you just say, oh sorry, okay, it just works simpler. This can be multi-layered. Set cprefix. Just like before, set cprefix allows you to set a prefix for all your commands. With the prefix, you can do it like this, for instance, if you really wanted to, but rather not. But a major difference between this version and the previous version is it doesn't just have to be characters now. It can be mentions. So if you wanted the prefix to be myself, you can do that. Now all commands will have to start with the prefix at Eastern Gamer, for the server at least. So if I want to reset this, you'll have to do it like that. And now it's back to normal. This is useful if you just want it to be it won't conflict with any. If you don't want it to conflict with anything, this is quite easy. You just have to set it to the bot user itself. Then you can actually just mention it. Obviously you've got to say a command. Also note there is a space, always. It doesn't matter if you don't have a space, I think. I would have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't even matter if you have that don't have a space. So let's reset that. Or actually, rather, let's leave it for now. And this is useful for the command prefix, which doesn't require the command prefix that you set. This is a small important feature. There we go. As it says there. Okay. Set cprefix. Oh wait, no. At. Oh, nearly forgot. back to that. It's just easier. Okay. Set leave. Set welcome channel. Set welcome channel. Those are 4 commands that are quite important for the next feature, but first I'd like to demonstrate the moderator commands. Unfortunately, that is just how it has to be, because it's quite important. So let's just check our settings currently. Currently admin roles are 5, moderator role is R1. Currently welcome messages are enabled and leave messages are disabled. So let's enable leave. So if you double check our settings here, that's now enabled. But as you note, there's a delete channel. In other words, there is no channel set currently, and that's a problem. And yet they are enabled. So what happens when a user leaves? That means as soon as a user leaves, it will generate a channel, which I'll show later. It will generate a temporary channel. I'll say temporary, but it is sort of permanent, unless of course you delete it yourself and then set the welcome channel and leave channel. But yeah. Oh, so this is useful for debugging. Okay. Let's move on to actually setting leave and the welcome channel. Or rather, let's leave those commands for now until I can demonstrate what it actually does.